Okay, there's this concept in sushi dining that when you have a sort of an all-inclusive 9-course sushi meal, after the 8th course, they bring you what's called the hammer, which is a huge plate of sushi so you don't go home hungry because you've had all those little exotic Japanese dishes. This is our hammer. This is the closing session where we will really try to nail things down from this conference and draw some interesting insights and conclusions. We got 4 top media thinkers and doers, and I might add talkers, who are here to talk about what's exciting them for the next year. And I'm handing it over to our moderator, Brendan Christie, editor of Playback, to see what value and information and insights and nuggets he can extract from this great group of, I would say, visionaries, actually.
Thank you, Norm. Can everybody hear me? No. Hello? Hello? Is that better? Welcome to Word from the Front, what has media leaders jazzed for 2011. If there's one thing I've learned in the last 48 hours is that we work in a stable and secure industry. Nothing ever changes. Please go home and rest on your laurels. No, that's entirely not true. We're all screwed. So what we want to find out now is we want to get a bit of a roadmap. We've worked in an industry for several decades that didn't change that much that we understood. And a couple of years ago, the world got a lot bigger, and the map has white spaces on it again, and there be dragons, and we've become not only content producers, but we've become explorers. So what we've got here are 4 explorers who will help hopefully show you guys the way. I'll do a really quick introduction, and then I'm going to turn it over to them so you can hear what they're working on. We'll begin with Tait. She's the president of indie prodco Duopoly and executive producer of Kevin McDonald's upcoming web series Papillon. She's the founder of online mobile content company Authentic and a former president and CEO of Salter Street Films, and she's served on several boards, including currently on E1, I believe. No? Not at all?
That's okay.
Made up some of that.
She's on the E1 board. No, she's not.
To her right is Gavin McGarry. He's president of Jumpwire Media. Before founding Jumpwire Media, Gavin worked at online video startup Juiced and served as the head of cross-platform business development at Endemol. He has also held positions at major TV networks, ran an indie prodco, and his own boutique ad agency. To his right is Khanna. He's co-CEO of GlassBOX Television, and he oversees growth in broadcasting and digital mediums. He's also co-founder of mobile video platform QuickPlay Media and previously founded interactive company Snap Media. He's a 5-time Gemini winner and sits on several committees, and my favorite part is he has his law degree, his genetics, and philosophy degree as well. I feel very
obvious fit.
Undereducated. At the far right is David UK. He is the managing director and executive partner of Digital Percent and Digital Brands. Digital Percent produces and syndicates digital branded entertainment for clients and agencies, while Digital Brands sells online advertising, branded content, opportunities, and partnerships to ad agencies and Fortune 100 brands. He is formerly the managing director worldwide of Heavy.com. He launched the Standard Interactive, which is the premier online entertainment network for standard broadcasting. Also sits on a number of advisory boards. I got my English degree. That's something. So that's enough out of me. I will begin. What we're going to do is we're going to have short presentations from each of our panelists, and then we'll follow it up with Q&A. I'll ask some questions and open it up to the floor so that you guys can ask some questions. And I think we'll start with Gavin.
Thanks. So if I could have the PowerPoint thingy on the side. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to do like 5 quick minutes. They told us when we were doing this panel that it was stuff that jazzed us, and so these are the things that I'm really interested in. They're not really the things I talk mostly about to my clients, although one of them is. But so semantic content systems, which I'm just going to talk about computers making content. I'm really excited about this area. There's a few things that have just come out recently. I'm going to show you that. And brain-controlled devices, being able to use your brain to play video games without actually using a controller, fantastic. Cross-media marketing ecosystems is a plug. We do that, so of course I want to talk about it. Is everyone okay with that? Good. Okay, so let's get to the web quickly. So this is the coolest site I've found. I don't know, if you haven't heard of Quickie, you will soon. Essentially, I can enter. It pulls all the information and content from the web and makes it into a video with a voiceover, and it does it in real time. So you go like this, Ottawa, and you say, Ottawa, Ontario. Okay, let's see what they have to say about that. Please work.
Ottawa is the capital of Canada, the second largest city in the province of Ontario, and the fourth largest city in Canada. Located in the Ottawa Valley, the city lies in the eastern portion of southern Ontario on the Ottawa River, a major waterway forming the local boundary between the provinces of Ontario and Quebec. In 2006, the city of Ottawa had a population of about 812,000.
Wow, right? Like, all the producers in the room, are you still here? I mean, I saw this and I'm like, my life's over. Like, why, the computers are now, I mean, we saw Watson this week with Jeopardy. I mean, what's the point of being human? So it's like, they're just gonna do it, they're gonna just do it all for us. So this is one that I'm really interested in. You've probably heard about, it's just started exploding, Extra Normal, where it's text to speech. So you write in your script and then these cute little animals, you pick them and then they make these sort of videos. And I haven't played this video, so I don't know what it is, and I'm really apologize if it's really
makers. We are announcing our first ever Extra Normal movie contest. After seeing so many of you going viral on the internet,
So you basically type in the script, you pick your characters, and then the characters say it. And when when we used to do speech to text, it was like awful. It was like, I don't know, Bob. But now they actually have like pretty good thing. So I was really cool. The other one that I always talk about, and when I was at NAPI, I got an opportunity to meet with Stephen Kidd, who's the head of Demand Media's content side. If you haven't heard about Demand Media, you probably should know about it. So they take basically what's happening on the web, and they build content around it by using 7,000 journalists around the world. They're just in the middle of an IPO. They're gonna, I think it's, do you know what the valuation, $1 billion?
It went up by 30%. I don't know what the number is.
Yeah, it's like $1 billion. They're the $1 billion major media company that you've never heard of. And essentially, where's Pete Vamos? So Peter's an ex-journalist. He put together all this programming. So I said, I tried to get in to be a Demand Media journalist. And I typed in, sent in my resume. They rejected me. So I sent Pete and said, can you get in? And he got inside. And basically, you're seeing headlines, and you choose one, and then you write a story, and they pay you $15. And then if you are a video producer, you do the same thing, and you build 20 videos for $20 a pop, and phenomenal, right? They're making millions and millions of dollars, and they're about to IPO. So that's that. And then what else was I talking about? Oh yes, the last one is like brain stuff, which I'm really sort of into. Is that this thing called NeuroSky, and there's another one called Emotive. And essentially what happens is that when they put this thing on your head, and you control, using your brain waves, theta, alpha, all that sort of stuff, you can control things. So let me see if I got a couple
all
queued
about
up.
fulfilling mankind's longest and oldest fantasies. And that's the ability for you to be able to control objects just by simply thinking about it.
Obviously, I'm so geeky, I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. But what's happening is these games they're building these games around you think about them, you control things by thinking. So I thought that was really sort of cool. And then I can talk about cross-media marketing systems later, but let's move on.
Excellent. So
see, I plug it and then I don't say about it. Isn't that great? You want to know more, right?
It's all about the tease.
It's all about the teaser.
Over to Rasha.
I'm just trying to figure out, they went public end of January.
Yeah.
33% increase in their stock price right away. They have no profits.
This is Demand Media. Oh, 1.5 billion.
1.5 billion, and they're not making any money.
Great. Perfect.
So it's sounds like about 10 years ago, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, it's great. Sustainable forever. I guess, again, the question was what's jazzing us and what are we working on and what's happening. I guess I have a couple of trends that I can talk about. Not sure you really want to trust me, however. You're looking at a guy who kind of ran two relatively successful digital media companies and then decided with great wisdom to move into old media. And now our company has three broadcasters, three broadcast specialty networks, and one of which we just launched a year ago, one we just bought from CTV, and one we've just reformatted. So we're trying to figure this out like all you are. We believe that in the midst of all this turmoil, a new entrant that doesn't have legacy, that only has one way to go, can find opportunities and create some interesting new old media hybrid brands. So having said that, what's getting us excited this year? I think the biggest thing is the idea that TV meets social media. Social TV, whatever you want, there's a lot of buzzwords, but the idea that TV meets social media, I guess the best way to explain this is to say, choosing what to watch on television tonight is a pretty lonely, sad experience. And that experience is going to completely change. Just the way it changed for music. If you were left on your own, by yourself, with an occasional magazine with a chart, in it to decide what music you liked, that would be, frustrating and annoying. Now, what you rely on, of course, are recommendations from your friends, primarily. And you also, rely on that social activity of talking to your friends about music and going to concerts together and experiencing it together. I think that whole idea of the social context, of media is coming to television, and it's going to change, I think, everything. It's certainly going to change what you decide to watch. It's going to change how you watch it. I think the idea that you can share what you're watching, you could follow what other people are watching, you can create watching events with your friends, you can chat to your friends while the show is on. All this technology is there, by the way, already. It's been there in the gaming world and the music world for years and years and years. It's just now coming to television. So, that gets me really excited. How it's practically going to be implemented. I mean, it's a combination of what we've heard about today, smarter televisions, new features on TVs, tablet computing, companion apps to TV shows, just websites. I mean, none of this is rocket science. It's just now the industries are putting their minds towards socializing the TV experience. The second big thing, from our point of view, 2011 is certainly about how the user experience of watching television is changing. I think improving, I would go so far as to say. If you look at the IPTV platform, some of those interfaces, you look at Apple TV and all these other services, not from the market disruption stuff we've been talking about for days, but just from a user experience point of view. Television is getting easier and more fun to watch. And I think that is exciting. It creates more demand for VOD, which I think is a major trend of this year and going forward, and has been already, and what our company is primarily focused on. We run 3 linear channels, but if you were to say where our strategic priority is what interesting VOD offerings can we provide for those new and easy to use VOD services. I think it also means people will ultimately use their PVR less. People will watch less linear television, and people will own less content. And all of that, the world will move to more on-demand VOD model where all the content just kind of stays in the cloud. So we certainly talk about that a lot. Related to that is the idea that, if everyone moves towards VOD, I guess the market is changing in a way from a push market where we broadcasters tell you what to watch to a pull market. I think that where you know what you want and you get it based on a recommendation or whatever. In that context, it's something for producers to think about. It's something we think about is if it's a pull market that we're going towards for television content, social marketing and social recommendations become the most important thing, because I'll tell you, people pull what their friends tell them to pull more than anything else. So I think that's a focus. Thirdly, and I've kind of talked longer than I was planning on, but is the idea that broadcasters have to get away from being aggregators of video content. That's not good enough anymore. We have to get back to the basics of brand building, of building a respect with a target audience for content genre across platforms, across types of content.